Buy a home at TAF City and get a free modern kitchen appliance from now till January 15 by our Binta, Nima or Ami and get all these 3 kitchen appliances for story building. And for bungalow, choose one of them. Get your home now.
This is the TAF Hub, a show brought to you by TAF Africa Global to educate you on real estate matters, to mentor you and inspire you.
After 48 years of working and also traveling all over the world, I am ready to share my experience with you, especially those young ones who follow me for inspiration. Good afternoon. As Abby said again, the norm is that I take one of the core values and give a lecture on it, which is honesty. I don't know how many of you have been following me recently on these core values, that every Monday I make it as a motivational value, as a motivational statement. So I have a Monday motivation that I post every Monday, first thing in the morning. But surprisingly enough, because I do this on a broadcast, so I send it out, to all my contact list. And my contact lists are a bit under 5,000. And you can imagine, sent throughout, it's global, people I meet globally. And recently I came from Windhoek, where I attended the African Union Housing Finance Conference. And some of the colleagues that I know, congratulated me and said, well, keep sending it. I don't think this is only meant for the future leaders, but it's also good for people like us. So as you get into that stage and you take up a responsibility in life, we hope that the 12 months that you've been here, that you will utilize this. That's what it's meant for. Again, I would like to congratulate you for making it all this way, and we hope to see you at the Sadauda Jawara Kairaba Jawara Conference Center on the 27th. So I thought on honesty, I just did some notes here to think about honesty. Honesty is everything. One need to be honest in everything that you do. You need to be honest first with yourself. That's your conscience. Something that when you close your eyes, you are all by yourself. You know that the only one who knows whatever you are doing or wherever you are is the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty. When you are only by yourself, and those moments, you are honest with yourself. You are honest with the decisions that you are taking. Because at the end of the day, whatever you do, you truly know within yourself that whatever you are doing, whether it is true or not, whether you are being honest or not. People outside can fool you. Yeah, maybe you can fool them by telling them something and doing something else, that you are not being honest with them. But so first thing is to be honest with yourself. And being honest with yourself, in one of the core values that we did, which was the first one, was the issue of integrity. So one must have integrity within himself. You must have integrity to be honest. So you will notice that they intertwine. One core value will be repeated into the others. So first that you do is please be honest with yourself, to uphold moral and ethical principles in all aspects of life. That's one thing that you need to do. And this obviously is in leadership. Because remember, you have followers. There are people who are looking up to you. Whether now or later in your life, we hope that you will be in a position where you can even be leading one person. The moment you are a fraction of a millimeter ahead of the other, it means that you lead and you are a leader. So a leader doesn't mean that you should lead hundreds or thousands or a country. So please have integrity within yourself, and that's one thing that you must do with honesty. Truthfulness. Saying the truth. To be honest means that you must say the truth. As you communicate, as I stand here and tell you all the nice things, it means that I should also be truthful. So, one of the values of being honest is being truthful. The word digger. And one thing about being truthful is that it becomes part of you. It becomes part of your brand. How many times, I'm sure even at your young age, do you mention a name, hey, by God, digger? True or not? Some will say something that is even hard to believe. But because of they have made a name of being truthful, people will say, hey, digger. So that's one thing that you need to adopt. You need to adopt being truthful. So truthfulness is part of being honest. So that must be portrayed and accurately and also transparently. This has been repeated over and over and over again. Being transparent, it helps you as a person. At times, I have some very close friends. And I obviously, as you talk to somebody over and over and over again, when you repeat yourself, you will not realize it. But one thing is that if you're not being truthful, you will have the story told many different ways. That is why it pays to be truthful. So when I talk to some friends, oh no, but it's the same story because you are being truthful. You are not changing it every time you face them or you say it. So I advise you that you should be truthful. The other one is trustworthiness. You should be trusted. Being honest means that you should be trusted. Being trusted, being reliable, and having a reputation for everything that honesty is dependable on. So this also is a value of honesty. So you must be trusted. If you are not trusted, believe me, you don't have much value. Life is based on trust. There are some games that are played, in some leadership programs that have been, where you are asked just to drop yourself that they will catch you. Before you want to drop yourself, lean on, you must trust the one that is doing it. That this one, whatever happened, he or she will save me. So I will advise you that always be truthful. The other one is accountability, which is also part of our core values. Being honest means that you must be accountable. Accountable to yourself, and as was said, being accountable to those that you are leading. That is key, because some people are accountable. How many times have we heard, and even currently, some commissions that are public, where people have not been accountable? Some of them, when you hear it, you go, wow, really? How can this be possible? So as a leader, you must adapt being accountable. And always, I am repeating myself, first is to yourself. That look, as a core value, as a value of leadership, I am accountable to myself. I am doing it because it's me, and I am not doing it for others. And then you look at the responsibility that you have for the team that you are leading and be accountable to them. And that is taking responsibility for one's actions and decisions, especially when the outcome is unfavorable. At times it's tougher. You are there and you want to be accountable, but it's a tough one. And then you decide to do it the other way, or you're not being honest, or you're not being accountable. But a good leader is somebody that no matter how tough it is, he or she is accountable for his decisions. That yes, I did it. I'm sorry. The decisions or the actions that led to me doing it was for this. But probably I was wrong at the time. And I must admit it was a mistake or it was a wrong judgment, but I am responsible. Don't pass the buck. Bad leaders do that. They always blame those that they are following them. Oh no, this is the guy who wasn't doing at the time, and this was what happened, and so on. But a good leader that will be trusted is somebody that even when it goes wrong, he or she takes responsibility. Be bold, and that is how you will be trusted. They will tell you the same thing again, that no matter what happened, you can trust him. He will take the right decisions and take ownership. When it's good, take the ownership. When it's bad, take the ownership, because you are the leader. Transparency, I said, but also transparency as a value of being honest. You must be transparent. So in transparency, operating openly and sharing information to build trust within the organization and its stakeholders. So you must be transparent. You must share. Some people are very good in keeping things to themselves. And you must avoid the issue, the I issue. You notice this? Some people who are within a team, it's all about themselves. I mean, I hear this all the time, which I hope some people will hear me. A coach of a team. No, smart team be man flee. You play already. It's very common in the Gambia. It's all about the coach himself. And I pick these things up. You must always use the word we. Because for this thing to happen here, where we are today in the hall, it wasn't done just by me or Balde or Abyss or Alpha or Mackenzie. It's a team. So leaders work in a teamwork. So as you grow older and get into a position of leadership, it must be inclusive. So always take everybody along, but the responsibility rests on their shoulders. Remember, we've given you so many of the core values, and a leader takes responsibility. You consult. Actually, for me, the worst leader is who always wants to go and who takes the decision that is collective all the time. You consult. But remember, decision making, we told you, a leader must take decisions. Because the decision must be taken by one person. Yes, it will be collective consultations, but whether we should fire or not, the responsibility rests on the leader. That's why you are there. That's why we elect a president. He's got executive powers. If he says that tomorrow there's X, it will happen. But yes, he has a cabinet, he has advisors, he's got all the people around him. But the decision lies on him. And a leader must take decisions. So therefore, I would advise you that you must be transparent in everything that you do, in being honest. You must be fair. Fairness is key. Some people are not just fair. Even when you take decisions as a leader, you must be fair in those decisions. There are some issues that are very sensitive when you do it, or when you get involved. At times when I listen to some people speaking, I just look at them and say, look, these guys, they don't know, they're not being empathetic. You remember we said about empathy? I am standing tall here and looking at you, seeing all your heads, whatever. If one of us was disabled and was asked to come up the steps, we don't have any ramp. So for me, it will take me a fraction of a second to come up the stage. But for he or she will struggle or he will struggle. So you need to be fair. Be fair and also put yourself, as we said, in being empathetic, in other people's shoes. So I would ask you that to endure equality and also impartiality. People should be impartial. A very controversial one, again, I mean, I always want to quote the order of the day, is the current demolitions. I think it's the hottest thing that is in this country. But it all depends on which side you are sitting. Some people you talk to, they say, oh yeah, it's good because the traffic has been cleared. Others, they are losing money and business. So on issues like this, yes, the law must take its course, but also any decision that's being taken, fairness is also important. So these are the things that happens when you have issues like this. So in being fair, you ensure that there's equality, impartiality in decision making and treatment of others. Now, authenticity. In being honest, you need to be authentic. Don't be a copy and paste person. Some people are very good at it. All they do is, yes, this guy has done it, so I'm going to do it the same way. You need to be, again, very honest with yourself and being very authentic. If you wear your cap and put it this way, it's your way of doing things, and somebody else does it the other way, let it be. But be authentic, be yourself. Leaders must be authentic. And in authenticity, you must be genuine. Being genuine, being real, true to oneself and to others. Again, it comes again to truthfulness. These things are intertwined, one thing after the other, because it's all within the good values of a leader. Courage. One must be courageous. To be honest, you must be courageous. As we say in English again, once you try again. There's a saying, try again. You know, if you don't succeed at once, try again. And now you can link it to one being persistent. You can link it now to one being to persevere. Because these are all good values of a leader. So you must have courage, bravery to speak the truth. Because some people are scared of saying it. Hey, but some truth must be said, no matter how bitter. You know, so therefore you must have the courage to speak the truth, even when it may be difficult or uncomfortable. In certain situations. As I grow older, and again being diplomatic at times, I tell the young ones that also, but some truth at times you need to be very diplomatic. No, but there's a way also of delivering the truth. And this is out of experience. Because if you're dealing with your parents, there is a relationship between a parent and a child. If your dad has done something wrong, you don't go right at the living room where he's sitting with his friends or guests that are coming in and tell them, Daddy, what you did was wrong. You don't expose your dad. That is the truth. But if you wait until at night, probably after he's had his meal, and then sitting there, you come close to him, start a conversation. Yes, Dad, you know, X, Y, and Z, how about this, X, Y? You start the conversation, and within the conversation, you can deliver the truth to him. Daddy, but you know, you did this the last time, but do you think it is right? And then maybe you can engage him. And that's where diplomacy comes in. Some people are very diplomatic. You will get what you want, but deliver it nicely. There was an elderly imam who passed away. I used to enjoy his sermons. You know, I think I've said this, and some of you know. One of my reserve posts is about going to Gamo. Man, Gamo Kadla, I love Gamo. And you'll be surprised, some of these scholars are very wise, full of wisdom. And this was the late Imam Murlamin Ba. You know, those who know Gamo around here will know him. And he said something which I still use, where he says that there are 3 people that you don't tell them the truth. You boost their morale. In Wolof moy dang leena jay. Mu ne amna ñetta ñoo xamne do leen wax dëgg. Dang leena jay. Mu ne ñu moy ñan, and who are those people? He says that's one, your child, your small child, you know, who's not matured yet. You must be very careful the way you tell him the truth, because you can derail him or her. If you have a child that went to school, didn't do very well, and there you are, and you start shouting on him, "Yo, do bah, you will never make it," whilst other siblings are doing well, at a very early stage, he or she might derail. that, oh, well, I've taken the decision. My dad says that I will not make it in life, so why should I bother? I'm sure the educationists will probably look into this and how scientific it is. He says, but if you communicate with him, hey, boy, Kai, you know, I know that the last exam you were stressed, you were not feeling well. You could have done better than this. You know, but please, I'm sure, you know, you play too much football. Why don't you stop the football? And, you know, not don't stop it, but why don't you just take half of your time football, but half you study? You know, next time even, I will help you in your homework. I'm sure you can do better than this. This is just some bad luck. You know, encourage him and then probably coach him, and then he might do well. So that was his own way of saying things. The second one, he says, your wife. And he said it in such a humorous way. He said, you had all the bad night. Then the next day you go out. I'm sure it was at his age that he was saying. You text a dom diko mur, sending her to her marriage or her husband. And then you will say, yo, finger at them. Bilai so many said, direct linfato. Feka gudi biop sa ya mungla ponye. But you need to boost her morale. The last one, actually no, there were two more. The last one, not the last one, but second to last. He says, a president, and it was the days of Jammeh, and he would say this publicly. When it comes to Wajirat, Borom Jasi. So when you talk to people, somebody like him, what you will say is, oh, you are the one who started the University of the Gambia here. You are the one who built Farafenya Hospital. You are the one who built the airport. But I'm sure you haven't forgotten or you have too much, but if you please pay attention to Nawek, it will be good. You know, so you deliver your message without going to him and telling him, Nawek is not working. There's the last one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty. You don't tell him the truth. There are things that happen as human beings, as living objects, that a decision, it's from the Almighty, and there's nothing you can do about it. And at times you're not pleased about it. And he says at times you will have an only child, and he dies. You're burying him, crying, and saying, Yalla Lord the Frek Bahna. Think about it. You know, so therefore, on this point about truthfulness, the reason why I just went into details, and I think it's an issue that you need to understand. Yes, deliver the truth. That's the fact. But in some circumstances, the way you deliver the truth or communicate it, you need to watch the situation at the time. Deliver it in the best possible manner. Respect. I just took 10 notes. Respect. To be honest, you need to respect others. Once you say something, you must honor it. You must be treating others within dignity, within empathy, and consideration, and even when delivering it difficult, when delivering the difficult truth. You know, when you deal with people, you deal as equals. When I walk into this room, I treat you as equals. I have a responsibility to be here, to guide you, because I've made a promise, I have made a commitment, which was again one of the core values, that I want to take this responsibility of bringing leaders like Lala and others to speak to you guys. And once I make that commitment, it is a responsibility that I must take. Your responsibility is that every time we ask you to be here, you will be here and you'll be here on time. You must do so. And again, I think in truthfulness, I have just listed about 10 points which I wanted to speak about. So I have about 5 minutes. As you know, I always time myself. I want to do it for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes. Being truthful, or being honest, again, truthful is part of it. you must take your responsibility. I gather some of you, this is probably the last time that you will see like this physically together at this moment, you know, listening to us, delivering these statements, trying to prepare you into the position of leadership. As I roam around the world, I mean, today my home really is Sierra Leone. I am more or less based in Sierra Leone. And one thing I noticed in Sierra Leone is that for public events, timing is key. If they say that the reception starts at 7, people go there at 7. In Gambia, 7 means 9. We must stop. We must stop. Everywhere else in the world, timing is important. Why is it that we cannot change this? And this is the reason why we are doing things like this. We want the next generation, that you guys, when you are in the next position of leadership, don't do it. We beg, please. It doesn't cost you anything to do it right. We have to start from somewhere. We need to demarcate the line. Some of things are difficult because this has been inculcated in yourselves. It's in your DNA now. And we must work on ways of taking it out. And the first thing that we do, which we said to you when we came here, was punctuality. It is your responsibility. Have I ever missed a session here? Have I? You think it's just by coincidence that I haven't missed a session? It is planned. It's a responsibility. I have promised myself that I will be here for every session and I'll be here on time. And when you leave here, those 350 of you, that's one promise I beg you to do. That wherever you are going, forget about the rest. Make sure you are there. If you are there on time and others are not there, sit and wait. By the time we increase the numbers, by the time all of us start behaving like this, then we will gradually change it. So I beg you. A lot of the things that we are suffering from this country there's no good reason for it. You go out, you step an inch out of here, it doesn't work like that. People give you time and it's on time. Flights are done on time. Flights are interconnected. Today I fly a lot with A-Sky. A-Sky, what they have done, they have a hub in Lomé. So flights start in the morning or Addis Ababa. If you go through there, everything is timed. There's a flight that leaves Dakar that needs to be in Addis at 9 o'clock. There's one that leaves Lomé. There's one that leaves South Africa. All these flights, they will all meet up within a certain time. Because the aircraft must be flying. As they fly, they make money. They are not supposed to park on the ground. And it's because of time. If you are late or you are delayed, they will go. They will drop your bag. But why is it that in our daily dealings, every day that we are here, that we feel, oh, no, I shouldn't be there. Why? So please, as I part with some of you, one of the things, apart from listening to all the other speakers, one thing that we would love to see in this country, amongst many, is the issue of punctuality. So on that note, thank you very much, and God bless you in all your endeavors.
Thank you for watching the TAF Hub. Until we come your way on our next episode, subscribe, like, and share.
Buy a home at TAF City and get a free modern kitchen appliance from now till January 15 by our Binta, Nima or Ami, and get all these 3 kitchen appliances for story building. And for bungalow, choose one of them. Get your home now.